Hey guys, in this month's top 5, I'm going to be sharing with you books that have a circus theme to them. So, I managed to find 5 books over the many years that I've been reading books. I managed to find 5 books that had some sort of circus theme to them, with characters visiting circuses or joining a circus or whatever, however you want to look at it. I do really like books that feature a circus, I've come to realize. I didn't think I would enjoy something like that, but I actually do like circus-themed books I came to discover. And yeah, these are the 5 that I've read that I have enjoyed, and I think you guys might enjoy, be familiar with. While my cat back here just wraps her tail around me. Where'd she go? My cat's back here just wanting all sorts of needy attention, you guys. But yeah, let's get going with this top 5. So yeah, at number 5, I have book 3 in the Acre trilogy called Meriden by Philippa Gregory. The Acre trilogy is historical fiction by Philippa Gregory, and the best way to describe the Acre trilogy is that it's like a multi-generational sort of family saga thing, if that makes sense. And a lot of the plot revolves around this family estate known as Acre and the characters that populate it and whatnot. But yeah, for the purposes of this video, book 3 is what I'm focusing on, and it's called Meriden. And this final book in the trilogy focuses, it's been a long time since I've read this trilogy, guys, so I'm kind of doing a lot of this based off of memory here. The third book focuses on, like, the granddaughter of, like, the main character from the very first book in the trilogy, if that makes sense. I'm trying to wrap my head around, I'm trying to remember all the details. But yeah, in the meantime, like I said, since it is a multi-generational sort of trilogy, the estate of Acre has kind of fallen into hard times and whatnot, and through a series of events, the main character, Meriden, she is not living on the estate. She kind of really doesn't even know who she is entirely, if I'm remembering correctly, that she is part of this this well-to-do family with a rather notorious name, I suppose. And where the circus fits into this story, our main character, Meriden, which it's not even her real name, it's kind of the name she goes by at the start of the book until she kind of learns her real name, I think. But yeah, Meriden at the start of the third book, like I said, she's like the granddaughter of a main character from the very first book. Meriden is actually in a circus act. She's part of a traveling circus. That's her home, that's her life, that's her family. I believe she does, like, she performs as like on horses and whatnot in the circus. So yeah, it's kind of through another series of events that through her time with the circus that she eventually comes to discover her family legacy, her family name, who she really is, where she truly belongs. And so yeah, the circus in this book is kind of a minor part of the story in some ways. It's not the large focus of it, but it's just kind of the humble beginnings of this character, you know, where she kind of initially starts and where she ultimately heads and whatnot, and how the circus kind of defines her as a human and who she is and what she wants to be, you know. So yeah, I really love the final book in this trilogy. I think overall the trilogy is great. So yeah, even though the circus segment of this book is kind of just minor, it's just kind of a small chunk of the beginning of the book, it's still a very integral, important part, and I kind of wanted to include it in this list because it does have something to do with the circus, at least. At number 4, The Orphans Tale by Pam Jenoff. And I really adore this book, you guys. It's a World War II historical fiction, and it has something to do with a circus, and it's just so unique and refreshing compared to a lot of World War II historical fiction out there. What you need to know about The Orphans Tale, like I said, it's set in World War II. We follow a young woman who's kind of just been exiled from her family because she got pregnant by a Nazi officer, you guys. Her baby is just really taken away from her, and through a series of events she comes across a train car full of Jewish infants. And she can't help herself. She's like, oh my God, here's all these babies and infants. Doesn't seem like they're going to a good place. And just in a moment of panic, she steals one of the babies from one of these train cars, and she runs away with this baby, and they come across a German circus. And it's here that our leading protagonist, in order to kind of blend in and survive with this baby and kind of, you know, go undercover and stay away from, you know, the Nazis and whatnot, she learns to do like the trapeze act within this German circus and whatnot. And so that's kind of the bulk of this book. It's this young woman. She's been, like I said, she's been exiled from her family. She's lost her own baby. Her baby's been taken away from her, but she stumbles across this Jewish baby with just this need to protect this child, you know, kind of fulfill something within her own self as well, since her own child was taken away from her. And yeah, she goes in disguise, learning the trapeze act in this circus. And a lot of it has to do with her relationship with this baby, becoming the mother to this baby, and also just the female friendship she gets with another fellow trapeze artist and whatnot. And then yeah, romances she has with another circus performer and everything. It's a really great book, yeah guys. And the circus is the huge bulk of this book, with her infiltrating, you know, integrating herself into this circus life and whatnot, and actually come to really enjoy it. And like I mentioned, it's just refreshing for the historical fiction World War II genre. Just a completely different, unique setting from the norm when it comes to World War II, and I just really love that and appreciated that, and it was a genuinely great book, very emotional, obviously, it's World War II, it's going to obviously be emotional, but yeah, I definitely do recommend it if that sounds like your sort of thing. At number 3, The Carnivore Carnival by Lemony Snicket. And this is like, what, book 9, I think? Book 9 in the series of Unfortunate Events, the series by Lemony Snicket. The Carnivore Carnival, it's not one of my top favorites when it comes to the series of Unfortunate Events books. It's not my top favorite, but it's definitely still a highly enjoyable book within the series. And if you don't know anything about a series of Unfortunate Events, it follows the 3 Baudelaire orphans, and each book they're just hopping around from just new relation to new relation, new guardian to new guardian, because they don't have a family, and just each book someone new is taking care of them. Sometimes it's just a family relation, sometimes it's an actual relative, it just kind of depends. But yeah, constantly on their trail is the evil Count Olaf, who's up to his nefarious purposes, and he wants the Baudelaires for himself and their family fortune and whatnot. So as I mentioned, we're in book 9 here within this gigantic series of 13 books. We're in book 9. The Baudelaires, they are once again on the run from just everything that has constantly built up against them. They're still on the run from Count Olaf, and they find refuge at this circus, and they disguise themselves as circus performers with, you know, like some sort of ability that they possess that can kind of blend them into the circus and whatnot. And yeah, of course they make friends with the freaks, if you will, the freaks of the circus, who are not really freaks at all, you know. They make friends with that group of people, and of course Count Olaf always makes an appearance in some sort of wacky, zany, absurd disguise, and he always manages to track down the Baudelaires. So of course he eventually tracks them down at this circus, and he is under some crazy disguise as well, trying to get to them and try to kill them or whatever he's trying to do, you know. So yeah, I always really like this one. Like I said, it's not my favorite in the series, but it's still fun and magical and whimsical, taking place in the circus. It's kind of at this point in the series that the author, it's like, oh man, I have 13 books here, and I'm kind of running out of situations and scenarios to put the Baudelaires in. What haven't I put them in yet? Oh, a circus. Let's throw them into a circus. It's perfect. At number 2, A Water for Elephants by Sarah Gruen. Whoo, this book, it's an emotional roller coaster, you guys. And there is a movie out there with Reese Witherspoon and Robert Pattinson. I had to think about his name for a minute. I was about to call him Cedric Diggory. I was like, no, it's Robert Pattinson. There is a great movie that I love, and so because of that movie, I picked up this book, and I was like, oh, this book is just as great as the movie, if not actually better, I think. So what you need to know about Water for Elephants: it follows a young man during the Great Depression in America. And he just kind of goes on the run, you guys. He was like if I'm remembering correctly, he was like a veterinarian student, but he didn't even finish his degree or anything. But he does have knowledge in like veterinary skills and whatnot, which makes him very useful for the circus that he's about to join, you guys. So he does. He jumps on a train that's like a traveling circus. He joins the circus as kind of like their veterinarian, I guess. And of course, he develops a romance for one of the leading performers of the circus, who's like she performs with the horses and whatnot, but she is married to like the guy who's like the manager of the circus or whatever. So of course there's like this crazy bizarre love triangle that gets intense and heated and dramatic, and it's like, oh my god. And yeah, the core of this whole novel is definitely the relationship between our leading protagonist and the heroine. And yeah, of course, in the middle there's the evil manager or whatever he is, and there also the star of this book is an elephant. I loved this elephant. Yeah, guys, anytime anything just disastrous happened to this elephant, I was like, oh my god, if Sarah Grimm kills this elephant, I'm going to be a little mildly upset. But yeah, this is once again another book entirely circus-based, circus-themed, characters populating a circus. It functions as historical fiction. It functions as a great romance, and yeah, if you love some elephants in there's an elephant. So yeah, I definitely recommend this if this sounds like your sort of thing. It's just really emotional and beautiful and descriptive. And at number 1, if you've not guessed already, I think this is kind of the one that's on a lot of people's list whenever they think of circus-themed books. It's The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. And I think the title of the book is almost self-explanatory. What you need to know about this book, it's focused on this really magical circus that only appears at night for whatever reason. And it follows 2 rival magicians, a female and a male, and of course there's a romance that happens. And it's just kind of this rivalry between them, this romance, this night circus, and yeah, of course there's a lot of other characters that populate the novel as well. And this is just a really great book. I enjoyed it immensely. I love the characters. I love the world building and just the whole concept of the story. And yet the magical elements with the rival magicians was really fantastic. And it's just really great world building and great story, great characters. And there's something about it, it's just very charming and whimsical. And when I was reading the book, there's something about it that felt very Tim Burton-esque to me. I would absolutely love for Tim Burton to do a movie adaptation of this book, because it just has that flair, that Tim Burton flair to it. If you've seen a lot of Tim Burton, you kind of know what I'm talking about, because Tim Burton definitely has a particular unique look and style and feel, and I feel like The Night Circus it really kind of has that, you know, it has that really Tim Burton-esque kind of vibe to it that I think would make for an excellent movie. So yeah, I definitely recommend The Night Circus if you're looking for something that has some magic, and it is a circus, and there's magicians, and if you do love Tim Burton, I think you really, really appreciate this book. So you guys, that is it for my top 5 favorite circus-themed books. In the comments below, are there any other books out there that maybe I'm not aware of that have some sort of circus theme to them? The circus can either be a minor part of the book, kind of like how Meriden was, it's just a minor part, but it's an important part, or it can be the whole focus of the book. Just let me know so I can maybe go check out those books. So that's it for this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and if you like this video, you may like these other videos. Bye guys.